Guys, so I was talking with a potential client today who had contacted me because they felt like they were getting really stuck with the whole course creation process. And so I asked them, I'm like, okay, well, where do you feel like you're getting stuck? Because I can probably help you. And they said what 95% of people say when I ask them that, and that's that they're feeling stuck on the whole technology side of things. They don't know what systems to use, they don't know where to get started, and they just really don't know how to move forward there. And so I said, okay, well, that makes sense because it's really hard to learn all of that on your own. But that means that you have all of your content created. Like you have your online course or outline done, you know what worksheets or activities you want your customers to do throughout the course, and you have your video scripts finished and ready to move forward, like now on the tech side of things, correct? And they said, well, actually, we haven't gotten to that much detail on that side yet. Like, you know, the whole workflow, or we know the flow of how we want the course to go and the content that we want to include, but we haven't done all of those steps yet because we really just want to figure out the tech side of things first. And if you happen to be watching this and you kind of have that same thought process where you find yourself not really moving forward with creating your course because you're still unsure about the whole tech side of things, I'm going to tell you exactly what I told them. And that's that is really, really dumb. And I don't mean for that to sound mean. It's just that it makes absolutely no logical sense whatsoever at all. Like, it doesn't follow any logical sequential workflow, and it's just such a shame because you're missing out on like an amazing opportunity to move forward and make progress with your actual course content. Like, you're not there yet. You don't even need to be worrying about the tech side of things if you don't have your course completed. And that's not your course. What your course is, it's your intellectual property, it's your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise, then packaged in a way you can deliver to someone else and get them to produce results similar to yours based on your experiences. And that's the most important part. And it's what differentiates people that have really successful online courses and that are regularly, continually be able to produce 6 and 7 figure launches because they've found a way to synthesize what they know and then unpack it and deliver it to someone else so that they can get results based on what they teach. So my point with this is that I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity that comes with creating an online course, like the unlimited earning potential and the time freedom and the flexibility to work wherever you want, just because you don't have all the answers right now. Like, and you get that you feel like you're overwhelmed with the tech side of things. Who cares about the tech side of things? You'll figure that out when that time comes. You'll either learn from someone that has done it before or you'll watch YouTube videos on how to do it. It's just, you'll get there and you'll figure it out. But right now, you have to follow a workflow and a process that makes sense in order to even get you to that point. So that's what I want to share with you right now because I don't want you to get tripped up and stumped up because you don't have all the answers right now at this point. When you see this actual like workflow that I'm going to describe, I think it will make a lot more sense to you. So the first main phase of creating a course is the content creation phase. And this begins with validating your idea, then moving towards actually creating a complete course outline, figuring out what your learning objectives are, what's the main goal of your course, what's your big promise that you're telling your customers they'll be able to achieve after taking your course. And then you can move on to creating the actual content. So everything from your PDFs for your worksheets to your slide deck for your video lessons, and then actually filming and editing your videos. There's a lot of work that goes into this phase, so it's usually the most time-consuming part. But this really is the foundation of your entire course, so it's not something that you want to rush through. With that being said, you also don't want to spend a million years on it trying to perfect every little piece because speed to market is really important. I am a believer in creating a minimum viable product and then testing it to make sure that it's something the market wants. But it is something you want to put a lot of thought into and ensure that you're teaching your content in a way that's really actionable so your customers can put it into use and actually achieve the desired result. So until you have this process completely done, I really don't think you should add additional complexity to it by trying to figure out the tech side of things simultaneously. Wait until you have this solidified and you have at least a really, really, really solid foundation and starting point for your content before you really even look into the whole tech side of the membership sites, the payment integrations, and all that jazz. But when you are ready for that, that will bring you to phase two. And that's where you really bring everything all together and create the home for all of your content. And my number one suggestion is always creating your platform on WordPress because I believe in owning the content versus paying for a hosted platform, something like Simplero or Kajabi. I just don't like the idea of having someone else or another company control my content, but that's just my opinion. Again, if you're completely non-techie and you don't even want to try to understand and learn how to do WordPress, then by all means go for the path of least resistance if that's what it's going to take to get your course out there, because that's the number one priority. But this is where you really focus on integrating your email systems, your payment options, your payment processor, your membership site, and getting everything all working in a cohesive manner. And this brings us to phase 3, which is our sales funnels and pre-launch strategy. Now, phase 3 is where things get a little bit of there's a little gray area because marketing and sales is really something that has to be done throughout the entire process. You don't want to wait until you're completely finished with your course before you start paying any attention to building your email list or building relationships with other people in your industry that could potentially become referral partners. If you do that, it's really going to elongate the entire process because you'll be starting from completely square one when you have your course created. So it is important to remember that throughout this entire process, no matter how busy and consumed you are with learning all this other stuff and getting your content created and figuring out the whole tech side of things, you do have to be fostering these relationships and building your email list and communicating with your market and ensuring that this is something that people actually do really want. And if you complete phase 1 correctly, and you start with validation, then you should be able to continue this throughout the entire course creation process. So marketing and sales is really a continual process throughout the entire thing. But what I'm really talking about when I say phase 3 of the course creation process is your pre-launch strategy and actually building your sales funnels. Your launch strategy is how you're going to build up excitement for your course being released. And I'm not going to go into too much detail here because there's a lot that goes into a launch. But just know for the purpose of this conversation that phase 3 is where you really focus on these areas. So to summarize, phase 1 is your content creation, phase 2 is the tech side, phase 3 is your sales funnels and launch strategy. So those are the 3 main phases that I recommend when creating your course. And don't get tripped up and stumped up because you don't have all the answers right now. I mean, you'll figure it out. But at this time, you really don't need to be learning everything because by the time you're actually ready to implement and use it, you'll probably have to relearn it anyway. I hope that helps you. And I really do want to see you guys successful with creating your course because the potential right now is just so amazing. And there's so much opportunity to really share your expertise with the world. And there's such a huge demand for it. Like, people just love consuming knowledge and information. And it's so readily accessible now with the internet that I just don't want you to get derailed or not make the progress that you want to make because you don't have all the answers right now, because you don't need all the answers. You just need to keep moving forward, keep up momentum, and I'll end my little rant there.